inaugural North Fork Audubon live Facebook stream. We've never done this before, so we hope it goes all right. I'm Peggy Lauber, I'm the program chair, and this is Jim Greenfield, our host today. Jim has a purple martin colony here in beautiful Widow's Hole in Greenport, and he's going to talk to us about how he got into the purple martin business. Jim, over to you.
Well, thank you, Peggy. So, Jim Greenfield again, and I'm sort of an accidental purple martin host here. I noticed some years ago that the purple martins would come during the summer and they do their hunting of bugs, flying insects, and do all their acrobatics, and I just was so thrilled by them. And luckily, a neighbor had a house, one of these what they call trios, these ones that look like the houses, that was in a bad spot, and they were renovating, and they actually offered to give me their house. And I said, great. So we relocated in July of that year and situated on a piling over here, attached to a piling here. And this is actually really a perfect setting, ideal setting, really, for purple martins. I actually, when I was doing my research, I found a sort of a schematic of a property with a sighting of a purple martin house. And there was a house and some yard, and then there was some water, and there was a purple martin house right there. So I said, well, that's like somebody just took a schematic of our place. And started with one of those houses. You can see there are over three cavities, and the same on the other side. So it was a 12-unit, 12-cavity house. And when we relocated it in the summer, they had already nested, or had established nests. And so really they started using it though right away, sort of as their beach house. And so they'd all fly around and they'd hang out and have a party. And I said, well, this is good. Maybe they would actually like to nest here. And so the next year, I was very fortunate, because a lot of people do not get purple martins for years and years. I got established my first year with purple martins. They showed up in the second or third week of May. I think this was 2015, and we saw the first scout show up, and the scouts come and they check out the property and make sure everything is good, and we thought, this is great, we're going to have a great colony. And then they took off, and I thought, oh, we're failures. Well, what they were doing is they're looking around to see if this was the best property they could get their hands on for the summer. And then they came back, and then they started calling for more purple martins in the morning. In particular, they do a morning song. And there are people that actually will put out a decoy in their desperation to get their own purple martins, and have a recording with a loudspeaker doing morning songs to attract purple martins to their site. Fortunately, we had the real McCoy, and they attracted enough to establish a small colony. I don't remember exactly how many cavities we had, probably something like 5 or 6 cavities, maybe 30 fledglings. And the next year I established this. That was in 2016. And so now we have a total, I converted the houses to sort of the recommended configuration, which is, instead of 12 studios, one-room studios, to basically like a one-bedroom railroad, or so that they have some protection. So they have sort of an outer room, and then they have a nesting room in the back, and you seal off that room from the outside. And these white things are artificial gourds, which were basically inspired by the Native Americans who did this themselves. They put up gourds, and they saw value in having these purple martins here and hunting the area for insects. They only eat flying insects. You will never see them on the ground, except maybe to pick up some nesting material. Really, it's almost a rarity to see them on the ground.
They get along with the osprey?
Yeah, yeah, they don't. They're not really after the same thing. Osprey are not really interested in them so much. And if they do a flyby, they'll all come up and they'll swarm them all together. They all, powers in numbers, and so that's how they work as a colony. That's a good question. We have more problems actually in terms of predators. Our biggest problem so far has been fish crow.
Yeah.
And they'll just really they'll land up there like Godzilla and just sort of wreak havoc. And I'll come out with my BB gun and they see me coming before I can get a shot off. So that's good. Anyway, so they come and they they congregate. We start doing nest checks, in late May, early June. We're a little bit late this year getting started. And these are configured so you can lower the houses down, and we'll go over there and take a look at that. They don't seem to mind too much. I mean, they do fly off, but they come back. We did that for the 230 group, and they always come back, so it's all good. Peggy and I did, Peggy and I were here, did a count on Tuesday, I guess it was. So that was 5 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
And so between that check and the as of Tuesday, we had 159 eggs. And about 58, 59 nesting pairs.
And they clearly don't mind you getting close to the nest.
No, they like being close to the house. They know there are going to be people here. They know that also helps them in terms of predators, right? That predators don't want to be in the area. These purple martins depend on us for housing. All purple martins east of the Rockies basically do not create their own nests. They are dependent on humans for whatever reason. The ones to the west of the Rockies typically do their own nests, but they don't really do the colonies like we do here, just because we set up large colonies. They seem to like that. Over there, they may end up in a woodpecker hole or a single housing like a bluebird house.
And it's exactly the same species, they just happen to have different flight patterns?
Yeah, it's what Pogni subsies, and they're subsies, and these are the subsies. I think it's something like that. These are the Pogni subsies, and those are the Pogni subsies. So, what else can I tell you? Have any questions?
And by the way, if anybody watching this feed wants to ask a question, answer it.
Oh,
so
good.
feel free if you're watching us on Facebook.
You have a question?
Yeah, are the gourds with the openings to discourage like house sparrows or starlings?
Those are the two problem birds, in terms of setting up nests and also destroying eggs. And so, that porch with the extended opening and the very small, it does discourage them. It doesn't necessarily prevent them, but these gourds are better for that than the houses. So almost every year I do have to remove starling nests, and they're very clearly different. And you'll see these nests are very nice, very tidy, very neat. The starlings just make a complete mess of a house. So they're very easy to distinguish. It's good to be able to keep an eye on it. You can see them coming in and out. These gourds do have the ability. They do have an optional feature where you can put in a trap. And so if you know that a starling is going in and out, you can basically set that up, and then for a house sparrow, and they'll go in, sets the trap, closes them off, and then you take care of the business after they're in there.
They have just one bird? Do they have just one bird a season? Bird. Yeah, once they...
Oh yeah, just one. So they'll we actually just saw our first babies. So we'll
we
take a
get
look
to
at
see
those.
them?
Hello.
Oh,
And it's wonderful to see them come. It's very melancholy to see them leave, but they will be gone sometime in the second week of August.
How far do they migrate?
They go all the way down. So the bulk of them are the bulk of them do go to Brazil, to the Amazon of Brazil. You'll see them also in Colombia and Bolivia. There's a very good video which they'll send you a link to on YouTube about went down there to find them. I also saw a really great one, an NPR video. This guy who was trying to find the group that migrated down en masse. They congregate and then they migrate. I don't know exactly all the dynamics of it, but this one down in Brazil. So if you're ready, we'll go take a look.
Great.
How well is
It's still struggling, you know, they're in a danger.
Lower down, I think.
Are they gonna get chilled? Will they get chilled?
Males, the females are that model zone, but sometimes they confuse sub-adult.
Yeah.
Do you think that's mainly just because they know they got a good spot and they don't have to look around? And
Yeah.
And when you get, do they come this way? The all set up already?
No, they come, I mean, this setup,
Yeah.
oh, it comes in pieces. And, you know, I put tungsten and concrete to hurt. Pretty easy to do, you know, with the help. that's it. And I said, you know, I don't need to do that. I'll just clean them out. I go and get pine mulch, red pine needles from a stand, which are very nice and soft.
We're trying to figure out what it is.
Trying to figure out what it is, but it's got to be a native species because there's another house in our
And also Mishomic. It's all the same leaves.
But they obviously prefer.
They really do like it here. I'd encourage they can use more houses. If we get more housing, we're going to have more babies.
Do they actually use the ones that are not gourds?
Yeah, they do. There's only, as of Tuesday, there were only 4.
Some sort of
Even
laurel.
now, we still have 12. Right, so there's 260, that's 12. There's only 4 that were occupied. And they were the last ones because they also had a few coming back. So a typical bunch is 5, 6. We have one that's 7. That's the first time I've ever seen that.
Somebody's given me a house and a pole, but I'm not sure I have an open enough. I need a big open.
You don't want to be too close to the trees. We don't really have as much on the ground. People, I'm showing my pictures to Facebook group, and they say, "Oh, where are your predator guards?" They can build it out. I have them, but I don't think we really have any predators. First sight is there they had this huge snake that they had caught. Dead. They're down in like Oklahoma or something. So we're very fortunate here at a very friendly environment. I guess I don't think that a raccoon could really want to be sick, but they want it. No, it's not. I mean, a lot of very successful local farms in the Midwest. Yeah, actually, they need a source of pressure. So they will go to but they do like this. There's a lot of insects around here. They like the openness of it. So yeah, you could do this really anywhere on the North Fork as long as it's generally open. Proximity to the house is good, both for them and for you to keep an eye on things. All I can say is it's a real treat to have them here. I love them. They start making their songs at first light, and they keep going until last light. Just open up the windows and listen in.
And I was telling everybody during the last session that I live 2 blocks away, and I hear them all the time over my house, and I'm like, oh, that's Jim's. Yeah, they hang out in the neighborhood. They hunt all over the neighborhood, and it's always a welcome sound. I don't know if question about males and females. That's a male there, clearly. He's all purple. Very handsome.
On top of it, yeah. That's
Yeah. The females are those ones that are mottled and not as attractive as the males. That's just nature for you. But you can confuse the
wish we could band them. That
Yeah.
would- yeah.
Licensed.
You have to be
whatever,
licensed.
do that. And I'm not. I wouldn't. Time to be able to really observe that. Not to do what you're doing. But not, just not that good of an observer. But, you're going to see them.
Is
You'll
that a
see it.
female? Is that one a female?
It would be if it's not a second year sub-adult male. That looks like a female, yeah. And they take turns on the nest. And you'll see them at all different altitudes. Hunting. So how do you like this? We picked the date on the first rain, the first hour of the first rain in 3 weeks.
Yeah, right, right. I hope that's not it. We weathered
I know.
this, I wanted it. Soaking.
Any other questions?
Do you all have your own birdhouses?
Purple Martins? You have Purple Martins?
We don't, we haven't
Oh.
put it up, because the best place to put it.
Uh-huh.
Look, to find the most open spot that
Uh-huh.
we have, because we.
Take a look.
Okay, great. At the moment, we've just got wrens that are going crazy.
Uh-huh.
Having- Yeah.
The Carolina Wrens.
I like their noise. They make a ensemble. They make a lot of noise.
Yeah.
Very distinctive.
They do a lot of yelling. If you're sitting too close to where one of the nests is, where one of the boxes is, they say,
Really.
get out of the way, for heaven, you're too close, move. But there's a lot of yelling there.
Are owls an issue as predators?
Sorry.
Owls?
I guess so. I mean, theoretically, why not? They are predators. I haven't seen any issue, any evidence of it. We do get some losses every year, but not like they've been carried away. Some other issues on the ground. That's just numbers for you. But this year has been really exceptional in terms of. I destroyed one starling nest up there, and
Is that the principal reason to raise them lower other than curiosity of monitoring the nest, or is it up and down pretty regularly? How do you do it?
are you asking why are they up?
Just what your habit is and what you're typically doing when you lower the box.
Well, we lowered them to do the inspections and to get counts and stuff like that. Report those. Report when we get our first scout. I report how many eggs,
It's really out of your interest of monitoring and knowing and reporting.
To check them
If
for
you
pairs.
do that, it would be more occasional,
Well,
fair to say?
Well, interestingly, we took over, Jim and I kind of fell into taking care of some Purple Martin nest boxes in a colony in Orient. And one of it's those kind of houses, and one of them is actually the line was broken and it's low, and we were worried because of predators, but the Purple Martins don't care, they're still nesting in there.
but we're just worried that it's easier for, possibly raccoon or whatever
Yeah.
to get to them. But the purple martins don't seem to care. Though I imagine they would prefer it higher up, but they're using it anyway.
Yeah, they did that.
I'll probably have to clean them out anyway.
So, because we have houses, we have one in a fixed pole, and I haven't really been so encouraged to put it out. Up and down might be important.
Yeah, but
Maybe not.
yeah, I mean, you have one of these?
No, well, it's on a fixed. It would be on a fixed pole, so it's much less elaborate
Well,
setup.
except that you can get poles that extend up and down.
Right.
Like the ones that are in Orient are different than these ones. Like I had one like you did. See, this one doesn't have a hole going through it. The ones in Orient have a hole going through it. So these are very like galvanized hole, and then it basically comes right down the hole right inside the house. And that works good. But you could just put it up
I guess any way you can get it down.
you could wait till the end of the season to bring it down. You're just not going to get your counts unless you go up on a ladder then.
Right.
So you just can't check for predators nesting there and whatnot.
And you clean it out every spring?
Yeah. Or at the end of the season. Either one. I just leave these. I just bring them down, leave them down low. They don't get wind blown and stuff. And they seem to hold up pretty well. And I just do whatever maintenance I need to. It's actually a fairly simple, easy hobby. Hobbies go. There's a bunch of females. That one there, closest to us, that might be a sub-adult male. Anybody have a eyes on it? Once you get the, if you get you get bitten by this, you end up doing stuff like this.
Yeah.
And then, you have to sort of put yourself to the spouse, watching the view. We're not blocking the view, we're enhancing it. Clear it with your neighbors. I saw on Richmond Creek, we were at a Frank's Dock yesterday, and I saw those are Nancy's, right? They didn't look